Now we turn to Taiwan. The Chinese Communist regime has assembled a large fleet of reconfigured aircraft into autonomous drones stationed ready to attack Taiwan. That's according to a new report by the Mittchell Institute for Aerospace Studies. NTD's Carrie Dunst was joined by Rick Fisher, a senior fellow at the International Assessment and Strategy Center.
Rick, can you describe this J6 fleet assembled by the CCP? What are its capabilities? What are how were they created?
Yeah, the J6 is a second-generation fighter jet, a Soviet design that first flew in China in 1959. It has a supersonic speed, a range of one-way range of about almost 1,000 miles, and about 4,000 to 5,000 of them were produced over decades in China. Starting in about 2013, pictures began to appear in Chinese military media of converted J6 fighters into drones. And these have been parked conspicuously at several Chinese air bases close to Taiwan. They're a classic deception wrapped in a threat. They're out in the open. It's questionable how many of them actually work, but the Chinese release regular imagery over the years showing them being maintained, so you can't really be sure. In wartime, they would all be flown towards Taiwan like a missile. Their main mission would be to absorb or force Taiwan to waste all of its expensive surface-to-air missiles. And if in the future, when Taiwan begins acquiring larger numbers of surface-to-surface missiles, the United States is now selling to Taiwan, to absorb those missiles as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that this could overwhelm potentially Taiwan's defense mechanisms because those surface-to-air missiles are quite expensive, and these are essentially recycled old technology from at least one or two generations ago. You mentioned that maybe there's a bit of a scarecrow or saber rattling effect because they know that we have this satellite imagery. What is your view on that? Is this really a new advance in their capability against Taiwan, or is this more masquerading, as you put it?
No, it's a real capability. These fighter jets can carry all manner of bombs, from pure explosives to very noxious chemical weapons. They are a threat, and they will be launched against Taiwan in the event the Chinese Communist Party decides to start that war, and they'll have to be dealt with. Taiwan will be forced to decide which ones to shoot down, and others will be landing and killing Taiwanese. Taiwan certainly has a large number of shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles that can be fired by regular troops, but those too will also be required to try to counter the thousands of helicopters that will be carrying airborne assault troops to Taiwan.
So the drone technology works as more of like a kamikaze because it's not intended, it's a one-way mission essentially, and you're saying that that would be backed up with ground troops that would be coming in helicopters. I believe the report says that these drones could reach Taiwan within 7 minutes. So what opportunities does Taiwan have to beef up their capabilities? I know that Israel employs a new laser technology as part of its dome defense, and it's pennies on the dollar compared with using those missiles that are taking out threats. Is that a possibility, or what opportunities does Taiwan have to even the score?
Current laser defenses that Taiwan could either purchase or even develop will not be powerful enough to defeat a J6 fighter. metal's relatively thick. It will require a missile to take down a J-6 drone. And so, again, Taiwan is forced to waste expensive surface-to-air missiles to try to defeat this threat.